So today's is our 15th step. First 15 steps are a preparatory steps. And the real steps begins after the 15th step. And the 15th step is learn to meditate on Supreme Self, the formless. Sometimes we say meditation with an object, and here comes meditation without an object. That is considered the higher meditation. According to Patanjali, we have almost 28, 29 different stages of meditation. The seeker on the path alone succeeds. Who is the seeker? So, can you recall the seeker should be equipped with viveka? We have understood that. The power of discernment. We have understood the vairagya, the dispassion. We have also understood the 6 inner treasures, 6 inner wells. Wealth and yearning, desire to freedom. So all these fourfold qualifications you have been practicing that we have covered previously and before in other steps. Seeker alone can succeed into the formless meditation. That is the way one master explains. Abhyas and Vairagya Bhyam Tan Nirodha. Patanjali says to remove the obstacles on the path of formless meditation and to succeed in meditation. The practices has to be the same. So it says Abhyas. So briefly I will touch. So here when we say practice, it is the practice on the one-pointedness of the mind with dispassion. So even these 2 steps are regular. You can achieve success in formless meditation. As if you are meditating on a consciousness. But the very consciousness cannot become the object. That is what we are trying to learn. We have also understood how to live our family, professional, social life every day. 2 factors in the mind. We have to drop the result of the fruits of our action. And the second thing, we should not build our ego around our action. See that. It is preparing you. That is why these are the previous steps. Why? Why? The moment I build ego and I am seeking fruits or the results of my action, my mind remains outside. Just think of it. It is so simple. And as long as my mind remains outside on certain objects, how can I achieve the objectless state of meditation? See that. Now link all those things. As long as the mind focuses or carried away by the desire, seeking fruits of an action, and I keep my separativeness, that ego in me. We understand our ego. The ego, the way we understand in this journey is different from what we think outside. That I thought, that identification, and that we have already covered previously. So our subject is how to meditate on formless. That is considered one of the highest types of meditation. Many classifications of meditations are there. Many classifications by different masters for the sake of understanding. Simply, formless meditation is without any object. It means it is objectless state of the mind. The same Buddha says. Buddha says mindfulness is also a formless state of meditation. Patanjali explains the 5 subjective states of the mind. Briefly, I'll tell you. First state is known as wandering state of the mind. Second state, you can say the first state is crazy mind. Second is obsessed mind. The mind goes back and repeats its habit of acquiring the same object again and again. That is, in Sanskrit, is known as mudha. Mudha state of the mind. The third state of the mind is known as, this is known as vikshipta. The third stage is known as mudha. Mudha means lazy, inertia, idleness. The mind wants to achieve everything, remaining idle and lethargy. So these are the 3 states of the mind. In these 3 states of the mind, the meditation cannot be achieved. What is the 4th state of mind? It is known as ekagrata. That is like becoming a seeker. And the 5th state is known as niruddha, emptiness. What is emptiness? Formless. Because there is no object. So there is no object, there is no form. Now, how to understand these crazy concepts? Are you looking at me? Yes, through your sense organ. So the mind through the eye looking at me. Are you aware of your body at this time? Yes. When I said, you became aware of the body. Isn't it true? You become aware of the body. Now see the difference between the quality of the mind. The mind that is looking at me is a physical mind. The mind that becomes aware of the body is also a physical mind, but it is subtler than the physical mind that is looking at me. Let us go a little deeper. Look at the breath. The breath is subtle. So, which mind looks at the breath? It is the subtler mind. Are you understanding? Physical mind looking at the objects of the world. Little deeper. Physical mind becomes aware of the body. It is the same mind, but the quality changes. Now the subtler mind is looking at the breath. Am I clear? Further subtler mind is looking at the thoughts. Thoughts cannot be perceived by the eyes, by any of the sense organs. When you say, I have lot of crazy thoughts, it means what? Your mind is subtler. Are you getting it? So on one side you see the physical objects, you have a physical mind to see. The same mind is so much flexible, it becomes subtler and subtler. So now ask the mind, look behind all the thoughts and experiences that enters into the mind. There is nothing. Subtlest mind. So what is the journey? How the master makes us understand? When you make this mind subtler and subtler and the subtlest, the object is not there. The mind enters into its subjectivity. Are you getting it? Let me make you understand in a different way, in a very simple way. Yeah, that will also help. One more example. When we don't hear or reject the idea of a God or a place of worship. Let me make it very simple how the mind works. So what happens? I have a separative ego. I have everything in my life. I don't accept any idea of an existence. I is the center of the world. It is the crude mind. It is the most physical mind. That because that I is built on the objects of the world. Clear? And someday, even in your childhood, your parents push you, come on, I have been going for so many years on a place of worship. You also come with us. We have no choice. We went there. Maybe a temple or a church. We have been going. Now, because of my past impression, if something triggers in the mind that I am not alone, I am a part of that existence, and there is something higher and above than me. I'm an insignificant part of the universe. That is the role of all the religion and the places of worship, according to our teachings. That now my mind triggers, there is something. Ego is not only a thing that works in the world. 2 steps. So what happens in the 3rd step? So if you are lucky, you have a teacher and he says, very good. Now make the place of worship your home. We have covered the first 4 steps. Have the harmony and the health and the happiness in your family, in your professional, in your social life. Why? Because you are selfish. How come you are selfish? You want to minimize the disturbances from the family, from the home. Now that home becomes the place of your meditation and worship. Whether you say worship or meditation. As you grow into the journey, body becomes the place of worship in the temple. You see, from outside, you got a trigger. Oh, there is some existence. All the religions, cult, dogma. That is okay. You learn, oh, there is something about. Then you come home. You want to continue the journey. You make your home in that way which offers very minimum resistance. You live into that state so that at least you can meditate, and you make your body a place of meditation. As you grow further, you make your mind a place of meditation. You see the journey? That is how many people evolve in such a way. So we say everything in the world as it is the best. We don't want to go for criticizing anything and everything, whether it is organized religion or society or politics, nothing. We reflect on it. Our goal is to find my true nature. First place of worship, outside. Second place of worship, home. Third place of worship, body. Fourth place of worship, the mind. Now, as you have been meditating regularly, then what happens? The time comes, you realize, let me say goodbye to the mind also. Enough is enough. So when you say goodbye to the mind, you are already into the formless state of meditation. Your object of meditation is consciousness. Your subject of meditation is consciousness. And the result is pure consciousness. Did you get it? That's another example. Did you get it? Now that very process, our masters found out, and they said how to bring it in the form of some system, some practices, some steps. So they created, which is known as Pancho Upchar Puja or meditation. Panch means 5, Upchar means treatment to the mind. So you give 5 treatment to the mind. What are the 5 treatment? There are 5 sense organs. So 5 treatment. So those people who cannot understand these principles and the philosophy, sometimes we have low IQ. To understand, we need that. So people say that these 5 elements are represented by the 5 articles outside. So he says, here is an image of a God. Here are the 5 elements. What are the 5 elements represent? The flower, the fragrance, the incense, and the fruits, each representing one of these 5 elements. So when you are offering the fruits to the image, means all the 5 elements when you are offering, it is an offering of your body. The Master says, you are not the body. Close your eyes and find out who you are. In that process, the mind starts going within. Now, many people feel that it has become a part of ritual, but it is very significant. I give a different practice, very specialized practice, where I start with the 5 sense organs. I makes you intensively aware of the 5 sense organs. Then I drop 1 sense organ. So 4 are left. I drop the second, third, fourth, and all the 5 sense organs. And the mind finds that you are already into an infinite space. So in this step, what happens? You are offering, you are using your hands, eyes, ears, and the mind for a kind of a ritual that you perform. Now what happens? You drop the hands, you drop offering those articles. So you use your eyes, ears, and the mind. Then you drop your ears. How to use your ears? When you say Asato Ma Satgamaya, you are singing. Or Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So you drop your eye also. How you drop your eyes? When you close your eyes. You drop your ears in the mind also. So like this, we have a different stages of meditation that can also be done with physical objects, with physical things. There is altogether a very specialized journey which is known as Nada Yoga. Nada Yoga, we use the mantra in 5 stages. The first stage, Sangeeta has done Nada meditation in 5 stages, and even Samir has done. So very lowest stage is Vaikhari. Say for example, I say Om 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 louder, deeper for 10 minutes. Then I stop it. Then I move into the second stage. I say Om body. Third stage, Pashyanti. Now my eyes are closed. The same Om, I do it mentally, but now the goal is to see and perceive the Om deep inside my forehead and the heart. Third stage. What is the fourth stage? I do it very deep inside the mind. The one step that we do while hammering the Om, I think, and perhaps I don't remember, On Saturday meditation, yes. Yes, on Saturday's meditation. And the fifth one, what happens? We wait when the Om reveals itself in deep meditation, in the objectless state of mind. That leads us to understanding of the formless meditation. Formless meditation. There is another way when the mind is purified. When the mind is naturally focused inside, we have a yearning desire for freedom. Then what happens? You simply withdraw the mind within and you say, I am Om. And after that, you reflect in that Om as pure consciousness. You reflect on that Om as light, as joy, as glory, as power and knowledge. That is also another way of doing the formless meditation. Provided we should be equipped with these fourfold qualification, or we understand clearly the nature, the structure, the function of the mind according to Patanjali, the 5 subjective states of the mind. The 5 subjective states of the mind has been explained by a commentator. It is not written directly by the Patanjali. 5 objective states of the mind is written, which are known as thought pattern and vrittis in Yoga Sutra. Vratayah panchatayah klesha klishta klishta pramana viparyaya vikalpa nidra smriti. Right perception, wrong perception, imagination, sleep and the memory are the 5 objective states of the mind. So look at the entire framework. In the first 15 steps, we have laid a strong foundation for higher meditation journey. The real journey starts from the 16th step that we will cover next Thursday. Let us start our journey. After the practice, we share our experiences and we will follow question and answer. Eyes are closed. The stage 1, eyes are closed, body is steady, mind is looking deep inside. We are not doing formless meditation today. If I do it, then I don't follow that tradition. So the mind is looking inside, either inside the forehead or inside the heart. What it is looking into the space. Even though I sow the seed of formless meditation in these steps that we are doing. Very good. So, looking into the space, discover the state of calmness. Even 1% of calmness. Even maybe you may have crazy thoughts outside, but still you are doing it. Eyes are closed, the body is steady, looking deep inside the forehead or the heart, in the space. And you discover the calmness. And you are aware of that calmness. So what is the continuity of that calmness? You maintain awareness of the calmness. So what happens to that awareness? It is misdirected by the mind. where it is directed, to a thought, to a feeling, to a desire, to a ego. You see that? That is what we have learned in the last 15 or 16 weeks, or 15 steps. To settle into that state of the calmness, we move to the second step in the stage 1. Being comfortable. Being comfortable. The way I explained you, harmony in the family, personal, professional life to minimize the disturbances. So here we minimize the disturbances coming from the body at the physical level, being comfortable. Look at the neck joint. Make the mind subtle. Look at the neck joint. Wait, feel, experience sensation, being comfortable and steadiness. Shoulder joints. Feel presence and sensation, being comfortable and steadiness. The way I'm giving you the instruction, I feel inside as if I'm giving the instruction to my own body. It goes together. Hip joint, feel, presence, sensation, comfortable and steadiness. Move the mind on the entire body from the top of the head to the toes, on all the joints. Sensation, being comfortable and steadiness, being carefree. Is another way. You see that which I explained you, physical mind, subtler mind. Compare that with just having that knowledge and understanding. You will enjoy, I have to make the mind subtle to reach to the higher stages of meditation, being carefree. At the mental, carefree, you know it. You are simply watching the thoughts. You step back from the thoughts, standing across the road watching the traffic or the birds below, the skies above, or the turmoil and the surface of the ocean, and deep inside is the calmness. Look at it. You are aware of the both. And you know these thought patterns are not me, separate from me, far from me, being carefree. And then being casual, natural. You are looking at the essential nature. What is the reference? The one that is unchanging reality within me. Like the water in the waves. Even if you stay in that state, the mind picks up the impressions, and in those impressions, the other objective impressions are left behind. Now we move to the second stage, purification. We already know it. Purification, focus, and removing the projection comes under the second stage. So, looking at the belly button inside. Inside there is a space. In the space there seems to be a calmness. So you are cheerful. You are aware of the continuity of the calmness and start breathing. Quick short breath through both the nostrils in a play and fun manner. Through both the nostrils. Continue playful breath. And the mind is cheerful on the other side. So there is no restrictions, there is no obstacles, there is no resistance in the mind. Continue, my friends. Continue the journey. And stop it. Start breathing deep, silent, slow. Before we start humming, it is better to check and become aware. The inhalation and the exhalation both are deep and long. The inhalation is always silent. And you should also remember that the next inhalation is deeper, the next humming is deeper and longer and the louder. So let us start our journey of humming. First, inhale deep, silent and slow. First into the belly and into the ribs. Mind looking inside the forehead. You start doing the humming sound and take the vibration deep inside the forehead. The way you have to do the humming. Continue. you will realize the breath become longer, deeper, so much so that you will be breathing only 2 breaths in a minute, or 3 breaths in a minute, or 4 breaths. That is a wonderful state. That gives you variety of experiences. And continue deep, silent, and slow inhalation and exhalation. Stop this humming sound. And now we remove the distraction and projection from the mind. Continue deep, silent, slow breathing. And with every inhalation, move the mind from the crown of the head to the tailbone, dropping Om Shanti 5 times. While breathing out, exhaling, mind moves from the tailbone in the space to the crown of the head, dropping again Om Shanti 5 times. Om Shanti, let there be peace. So you're asking the mind to refer to that state of the calmness from where we started our journey. Inhalation, the mind is dropping down. Om Shanti. Mentally. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. 5th Om Shanti, you reach at the tailbone, and from there, 1st Om Shanti, rising up. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, crown of the head. So sync the mind, Om Shanti, with the breath. And then see, that will also leads to variety of experiences, and especially it leads to very warmth and heat, as if the body becomes very heat. I won't use the word hot. And sometime you feel cold. At other times you experience the body has expanded. It has become so big that your crown of the head touches the sky. Hand, your lower touches deep inside the earth. Or sometime you feel you have gone beyond. So we recognize these experiences, don't pay too much, recognize them, accept them, continue the journey. Very important. And now drop the Om Shanti. Keep that same breath. And moving the mind and the breath inside the right arm. We are entering into the stage 3. As the breath going in, the mind moves inside the right arm in the space, either from the shoulder to the fingertips or from the fingertips to the shoulder. Breath is the driver, the space is the highway, mind. Breath is the vehicle, the car, the mind is the driver, and the space inside is the highway. Moving the mind inside the left leg now. We can change the sequences. We don't want a habit. So that is why I am saying moving the mind inside the right leg. The space, the highway, the breath is the car, mind is the driver, and it is constantly looking the space. So what is going to happen? You are maintaining the continuity of the calmness, and you experience it deepens and deepens and deepens. The mind on the left arm now, moving inside the left arm. So even when you do the practice on your own, you can change it. Sequence is the way the mind understands and develops the skill. Here it is not a skill development. We are awakening. A lot of things too we'll understand in the future. And now inside the left leg. Inside the left leg. Mind is passing, running, driving the breath on the highway. And that highway does not have any traffic. It is basically a step coming from the tradition of Tantra. And now inside the spine, from the crown of the head to the tailbone, from the tailbone to the crown of the head, moving the mind in the space. I appreciate you all. This is wonderful. More or less, I can see those people. There is no rapid eye movement. The body is maintaining a state of stillness. The facial muscles also leaves that kind of a expression from the habitual mind. A lot of indications are there outside. And now leave the step. We move into the stage 4. Superimpose Om Shanti. You'll find as if now I experience more or less a kind of emptiness. Maybe one thought enters after a long interval. That is the key. What we are doing, looking inside the forehead in the space. So whenever any thought, image, experiences pops up in the mind, we superimpose Om Shanti. We have understood that part, that step very well. Any thought comes, Om Shanti. Any image, Om Shanti. Good thought, Om Shanti. Bad thought, Om Shanti. Lot of thoughts, Om Shanti. Superimposing gently with awareness and attention. And leave the step. Let us enter into the stage 5 naturally, casually, looking inside the crown of the head and dropping Om with love, becoming aware of the infinite space, then walking down inside the forehead, dropping Om waiting, experiencing, dropping Om inside the heart and the belly. We don't allow the mind to go down. We return from there. Om at the belly button, then the heart, casually. That dropping Om gently keeps you in the field of awareness to go deeper. Continue. And last is looking at the breath going in and out, feeling the sensation, and no change in the rate and the rhythm of the breath. So when you are aware, it's a three-pointed awareness, your mind will be absorbed somewhere deep inside. Continue to descend. Different experiences that we recognize and accept, and we do nothing. We are almost in a state of doing nothing. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your awareness on the right hand, your awareness on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your closed eyes, open the eyes inside the palms and stay there for a second. Ask yourself what is happening, and then bring the hands down. Beautiful. How are you, Lara? We have sharing of experiences, and then If you have any doubt, you can ask question.
I think it was interesting for me to watch my mind. I got really into it, and then I had a sensation, it would pull me out. And then I was able to go back in. And then, then something, and then I had like a thought would come in and it would pull me out. So just more, I think for me today, it was more of the awareness of just watching the experience and looking at the senses and how they will pull you out.
Yes.
And then can you go back in?
That's a great thing. And if we live into that state, time comes, nothing disturbs. Anything coming from the outer world, nothing. That's really good. Very good. And how are you, David and Jerry?
Another great experience. It was dropping the Om Shanti after the long hunting. My temperature immediately dropped, very cold, which is unusual for me. The other thing then is that started this whole process of seeing this indigo, and typically there's boundaries or borders to the colors, and all of a sudden all the boundaries and colors went away, and it was just void, nothing for the rest of it.
Beautiful.
It was quite good.
Yeah, we'll understand about the colors gradually, but this is a deeper state. That's wonderful. How are you, Jerry?
I'm doing well, thank you. It was calmness throughout, so I had that continuity of calmness. However, during the humming, I had a bit of effort that I noticed, where I would just notice that it was a little effort at times, where I would run out of breath.
Yeah.
But I was able to stay calm. And then during the Om Shantis, had a little bit of like ink blot, like an indigo, and then covered with white. But really, and the body feels the body felt very heavy today.
Very heavy.
Like a statue.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Either you feel extremely heavy or light, or you feel expanded or contracted. So it has to do with the prana, the energy body. We'll understand. But indigo, you both had the indigo, it's a deeper meditation. Wonderful. Beautiful, Jerry. How are you, Kavita? Samir?
Sir, one and the same thing, sir. Sir, it was total stillness, and I felt, as you told me, to pick your hands up and put it on your eyes. So I was feeling very hard to take off my hand, and it was feeling very heavy. It was totally, I was into it.
Yeah, that's really good. Majority of the people might feel that way. Oh, no, I don't want to do it. It means the mind has left the body. Means what? We don't need to argue with the science. The minimum level of survival caused by the mind, that mind is always present in the body. So what we mean by withdrawing the mind from the body, that mind which distracts, which causes the worries, is taken out completely. And that makes the body heavy, caused by the energy body. That we will understand gradually. How are you, Sangeeta?
सर बहुत पीसफुल है, और बॉडी में हैवीनेस थी काफ़ी, और माइंड काफ़ी हद तक कंट्रोल में था. कुछ भी एक्स्ट्रा नहीं कर रहा था. जो आप कह रहे थे वो सब कर देगा.
Beautiful. She has more or less the same experiences like David and Jerry. This is really beautiful. Beautiful. And how about you, Sergey? Don't believe in other experiences. Let them share. You have to be very careful.
This time it was a little bit hard because of sometimes I'm losing my awareness, like I'm shut it down. Then my mind is calm again. Some thoughts are coming and I'm letting that go. So it's like 3 stages. I'm aware, I'm calm. Something I'm shut it down, or some thoughts are coming. At the very end, I found that I have some pressure in side of forehead, and it's a little bit similar, I believe, to what Jerry said, that it's like heaviness of the body. In my case, it was heaviness of my head and my neck. I just feel that it's pressure and it's heavy.
It's pressure and heavy, yeah. So that pressure and heaviness has nothing to do with the anxiety reaction. It's a variety of experiences that we undergo as the mind goes within. But even then, even with lot of distractions in the beginning, you could achieve that state. That is beautiful. Any question, Lara, coming from you about formless meditation?
So I had a big red thing come, and then I kept seeing this little, really teeny image of like a hand-sketched deer.
Hand-sketched deer. That's a deeper meditative state. And when you see the red color represents, sometime it represents the Rajasic Guna. At which stage of the mind it is a deeper state of the mind.
And then one other question I have, because I had a lot today of like movement just happening in my body involuntarily. What is that, like more the swaying? And I don't know if it was like me falling asleep, or is it, what is it?
No, not falling into the sleep. So there are 2 factors. It's a mixed experiences. Sometimes the mind releases the unwanted triggers and emotions from the past impression. That is one aspect. And I have seen here also, when we do conduct individual sessions, and in India sometimes the body jerks, your hand lifts very fast and involuntarily and drops down. So that is also a release of the past impressions and triggers and reactions. The mind becomes purified. The other experience is due to the energy, because when the mind moves within, that energy is gathered. It is not scattered outside suddenly. So that energy body gives a very enjoyable experience to the body, because now the mind is gathered inside, so prana is preserved, prana is stored, prana is also not scattered. So that prana makes the body swing. So in both the cases, both experiences are good. We don't have a time to swing, Lara. So at least we can swing in meditation for a few minutes. All the time we are so busy.
We can't swing, the playgrounds are closed.
So until now we have covered 15 steps. So the next 3 steps are the basic principles, that what exactly is Shravanam. The literal meaning of the Shravanam is listening from a teacher. So our text in the teachers explain what exactly is this listening. Why, what happens? What is the goal of the listening? Then we go to the Mananam, the contemplation and reflection, and we move deeper and deeper. So, did you have a chance, Lara, to read the book?